Karl Marx was born on May 5, 1818 in the Rhenish city of Terrier. The young Marx grew up in a bourgeois household where tensions stemming from its minority status were at best subjacent. He later on became a philosopher, economist, sociologist, journalist, and revolutionary socialist. Friedrich Engels was born on the 28th of November 1820 in Barmen, Prussia. Friedrich was the eldest son of a wealthy German cotton textile manufacturer. He later on became a German philosopher, social scientist, journalist, and businessman. While often viewed as a revolutionary, Marx and Engels' sociological theory is explicitly evolutionary in character. According to Marx's view of the evolutionary process, society has moved through multiple evolutionary stages, from a communal society based on hunting and gathering what nature provided to a society based on slavery, land, and capital. While he saw struggle as the moving force of the evolutionary process, this struggle was only rarely violent in character. Marx's theory suggests that since mankind left the communal societies of prehistory, society has been based on the domination of powerful elites over the mass of people. The power of elites is rooted in their control of the forces of production. This power is often contested with subordinate groups struggling to increase their share of wealth and power. Marx and Engels often use the term revolution in the sense of drastically different way of behaving or thinking, as when anthropologists or sociologists use the term in referring to the Industrial Revolution. They are not talking about the same instantaneous change, but rather transformative changes that often take place over generations, sometimes over thousands of years. What aside from its gradual and incremental speed makes Marx's theory evolutionary? Most significantly, it is based on cumulative historical change of human societies in response to a changing environment. The first human societies, Marx argued, were communal in nature. These classless societies existed with a minimal division of labor and were relatively democratic in nature. With the domestication of plants and animals, the increasing specialization of crafts and roles appears, bringing in its wake differential access to resources as well as differing material interests. Marx predicted that similar tensions and eventual class conflict will arise in capitalist societies, bringing on a new social order. Like all previous existing economic systems, capitalism carries the seed of its own destruction. In his theory, Marx discusses four factors: economic interpretation of history, which states that the basis of human relation is what we produce and exchange, and attitudes are changed depending on what is produced and how it's being exchanged. Class struggle. History of society has always been about struggle between classes: slave versus master, peasant versus lord, and now proletariat versus bourgeois. Labor value commodity. Value of anything is the amount of labor put into producing it. Labor has monetary value. The difference between wage and the price of the item belong to the worker, not the capitalist. According to this logic, capitalists are stealing the money of laborers. Lastly, alienation. Modern industry workers are subject to alienation and detachment. They are alienated from the workplace and grow increasingly dependent on their superiors for production. Worker is reduced to the level of a machine both intellectually and physically, which makes it impossible for the workers to live independently from capitalism. Engels, of course, recognized the explicit evolutionism in Marx's theory and stated so in his eulogy for his friend. Just as Darwin discovered the law of development of organic nature, so Marx discovered the law of development of human nature. The last phase of Marx's program is the revolution of the proletariat. In an increasingly capitalist system, increased production will lead to a constant drop in prices. Small-time producers will be bankrupt and join the proletariat. Eventually, system breaks down under pressure for the proletariat. Who will lead them? Dedicated socialists, of course. They will organize and educate them. Full and bloody revolution known as the emancipation. This will ultimately produce a classless society. However, in practice, Marx's political and economic ideas have been used to design disastrously planned economies and Nazi dictatorships.